Welcome to Chandwell. In this series of short episodes, we are going to follow my process from initial idea through to a completed scratch-built card building. I'm going to show you the highs and the lows, what works and what doesn't. So let's dive straight into episode 1, the paper mock-up. For the first time in over a year, I'm getting on a train. I'm going into Bradford to get my COVID vaccine, but whilst I'm there, I'm going to take some photographs of a very specific building which is going to become the inspiration for the next part of my Chandwell build. The Midland Hotel stands at the entrance of Bradford Forster Square station. It's a huge building that can only be described as rambling. It has walls coming off at all angles. It has tympanums, mansard roofs, hipped roofs, flat roofs, columns, towers, domes, ornate stone detail, a dirty old run-down back. It's in varying states of repair. It has a tunnel under which pedestrians walk, a tunnel under which cars drive, fire escapes and terraces. I even noticed it still carries the Midland Railway's crest in its stonework. It's a building that fascinates me every time I walk past it, and I want to model a low-relief hotel inspired by the Midland Hotel behind Chandwell Station. I used Bradford City Council's planning portal and I struck absolute gold with a planning application submitted in 1997. I opened these in Inkscape. Using the scale printed on the scans, I adjusted the size to N scale. On a test print though, I thought it looked a bit too big, so I tried a different approach. I reduced the size of the drawings by dragging the handles in Inkscape until this double door was the same height as the scale scenes doors I use in my other buildings. This looked much better and I was ready to make a start. I spent a while drawing coloured rectangles in Inkscape. This is a way of me trying to fit the drawings together in my mind. With the architect's drawings in the top layer, and with that layer locked, any rectangles that I drew would be underneath the architect's drawing. By setting the architect's drawing layer blend mode to multiply, this makes the white parts of the drawing transparent, so as I drew rectangles, the elevation drawing stayed on top, but I could still see those rectangles. I identified 13 different layers to the hotel, but I thought that this would be too complex to try and build as is. I chopped out various parts of the hotel drawing with the mind that in Chandwell I'd be building the back of the building, so I avoided the elements with any ornate stonework. I also realised that I had the perfect opportunity to model an entrance to the hotel on the station concourse down here. The ground at this part of the layout is 40mm above baseboard height, so the rest of the hotel will be on top of a retaining wall which will gradually descend towards the left. I therefore dropped this part down and made it less tall than the rest of the building so that it ties together with the station frontage better. Once I'd worked on this, I realised that I could derive 14 separate structures that if placed together should make an overall building with the rambling feel of the prototype. I arranged them on a rough plan and started drawing rectangles. Because this is a low relief structure, it's much more flat than the real hotel would be. By treating each part of the hotel as a separate building, I can work with simple shapes and structures. I printed these out onto cheap A4 copier paper, used the back of my scalpel to score them, cut them out, and folded them to make a simple freestanding three-sided structure. Once placed on the layout, I can get a feel for what the overall hotel is going to look like. The advantage of a paper mock-up is that it takes very little time to make and it allows ideas to form in my mind in 3D. I can see parts where the windows could be better aligned. I can see I need a better reason on the side of this building to have a terrace that descends here. I can see that some kind of grand entrance on the concourse should work really well. I can see I need to put some more effort into giving the impression of a grand ground floor on the left side. But most of all, I can see that with this backdrop, Chandwell Station really will feel like it's embedded in part of a much bigger town. I'm really excited for where this build will take me. It's going to be a challenge, especially this roof, but stick around for the full series and we'll share the journey together and see where we end up. At the end of part 1, I've so far spent 10 3/4 hours on this project, and that doesn't include the trip to Bradford. I've used 18 sheets of basic copier paper and 1 sheet of A4 sticky label. This has cost 19.7 pence and a bit of printer ink. I'm now going to spend time rearranging the windows and making the ground floor better before turning my attention to building 1 and the entrance on the station concourse. So until the next episode, thank you for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.